Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LTA North. Spring 2025.
Boy and Seos cashing in on a top lane turret.
So Bwipo base started running back top, and it was a very late recall and reset here.
The majority of the grubs is FlyQuest stepping up to try to contest Shopify, who have already secured the second. Nice engage coming out from Contracts, but where's the rest of the damage? They don't have the burst. The first blood already finds its way into Masu's.
Used the heal. But Fudge is going to get pushed. We don't know exactly where Contracts was. We just know he was heading down towards bot lane, and there he is.
Oh, Contracts misses the Sejuani ulti, and Bwipo's trying to flash early to get away from some of the dive, but Seos is ready to back him up. And Shopify Rebellion sent down 3 to find the first kill, but now Inspired is fighting back, looking to get some sort of a vengeance here for his fallen top laner. Contracts down to 300 HP, finds the stun as Seos is absorbing the damage from the turret, but Inspired has already picked up one. Busio tags a second now with a Winter's Bite. Seos has to try to escape, and Inspired needs a win, becomes lightning, but Contracts with a very nice sidestep. It's not going to be enough. The feat of warfare claimed by FlyQuest as Shopify Rebellion is sent packing.
Nicely done there by FlyQuest. Inspired able to get in, and then the roam down. They will lose one plate mid lane, but Bwipo can actually TP out and cover mid there from B-Boy. So really well done overall. Yeah, Bwipo dies, but Masu's farming plates and bot. They got multiple kills back. They forced out multiple flashes as well. You know, both Fudge and Contracts had to flash, so it's just a trade of flashes. They're getting more off of the extended play, as it looks like Masu is going to be able to actually claim this, and that should be the feats of strength as they grab the first tower here.
A little bit himself, as Inspired has his ulti stolen by the Sylas. FlyQuest going to force down the tier 1 turret here. A nice shuffle coming out from Quad. Forces Summoner spells back out of B-Boy, but now Inspired in trouble in the back line as B-Boy barely survives, and Masu's going to get shut down. Inspired could be in some danger now too. Lots of damage coming in from Shopify Rebellion. They've already found 2 kills, and Palafox wants to make it a third. He claims Busio's life, and now another death's going to pour in as Quad will fall as well. It's absolute disaster for Fly. It's a spell. It's an auto attack enchanted by the magic of a spell. I can agree that you are sorely and sadly mistaken, and I will forgive you for that. Failure point was just the fact that Quad went in slightly too early for the shuffle on B-Void, because then they had to spend 2 more auto attacks to kill the turret instead of him. He barely escaped, and it just all collapsed. But now, FlyQuest have already claimed the first 2 Drakes. Shopify want to stop their stack, but FlyQuest are not willing to allow them to do such a thing, as now they're taking over the Drake pit. The Drake already down to about 4,000 HP. Seos and Contracts, keep your eyes on them here for the engage. Busio has already thrown up the shield. Contracts gets an ulti, but it doesn't do a whole lot. The Chemtech Drake going to be secured by Quad and the rest of FlyQuest, as Contracts is left to the wolves. Shopify Rebellion just fall apart here fighting for this. The Dragon goes over to FlyQuest. The kill also looking pretty good for their side, but not quite going to come through.
It's so interesting, you know, how Shopify decided to play this out, because they weren't willing to give the tier 2 top, which is obviously a lot of gold to give over to Bwipo. But I feel like if you just bring Palafox to the fight, you win the fight for sure. Yes, you will lose your tier 2 top, but you're probably going to be able to get something more on the other side. It's just kind of interesting because they decided to actually match, which I think is really advantageous for FlyQuest. Bwipo really can't do a lot if he showed up to the 5v5, whereas I think Palafox can. So it ended up just being this scrap in the side lane, and now Masu is here. He could be in trouble.
Yeah, Palafox, not long for this world. A stolen Corki ulti's not getting you out of that one, and Masu collects another kill.
Fight. So yeah, so basically what you are gaining though is the automatic pickup of all the flowers. So if you get the smite, you get that. That is automatic. You also do get this takedown proc, like you were talking about, which is about 600 IE third. More people have been experimenting with just kind of the BT first, as Bwipo may be going down here. He's got to run.
Yeah, Fudge doing a good job here in this trade at the start. Gets the 1v1 against Bwipo's Nidalee. Fudge comes out on top. Quad makes the TP up into the top side of the map to guarantee that it's an even trade 1-for-1. But considering the enemy top laner is dead and the enemy mid laner just teleported to the other side of the map, the remainder of Shopify Rebellion is making the call to go for the Thornbound Otacon. Palafox is coming in over the wall to try to contest Inspired. They can't allow him to be able to steal this one away. They're all going to dive in, switch the focus over onto Inspired instead, but he steals it away. Inspired steals the objective, and now Masu's in a killing spree. He might just go even further. Shopify Rebellion crumble kill. Inspired, the hero of the day. A triple kill over to Masu as the dust settles. And it's about to be one more on top. Palafox trying to sneak through the brushes, but he shoots him right in the face. Point blank range with the Corky gun. There's no way out. That is it.
Yeah, that is devastation for Shopify there. It all came down to the smite here. Into the smite, is able to secure it. Contract cannot get it. And again, you instantly get all of the flower buffs. You instantly get that takedown buff that we're seeing, that little pop, that AoE pop that is coming through. And Masu with the BT there, very tanky. You know, more and more people have been trying this build on different ADs instead of just MF, getting an early Bloodthirster side lane, but it just hasn't really mattered here, and it's going to be another fight. Seos in trouble.
Yeah, Seos is going to die before anybody else can even do anything with the Rakan engage. Just getting caught out there, and now FlyQuest moving up to continue their work on the turrets. Bwipo, free firing time on that tier 2 up there, claims that, brings the gold lead up to 6,500 as the rest of FlyQuest will move on over to the Baron. Taking this is great for them, and it also removes one of those comeback conditions from Shopify if they were to win a fight later on. B-Boy's going to walk up, try to check the area, immediately finds Busio waiting for him there with a winner's bite. Fudge versus Bwipo. B-Boy swooping in here with a killer instinct. One more shot's going to get him. Bwipo did not manage to flash over the wall, so the first kill goes to Shopify Rebellion as Palafox does not end up getting stunned by the fourth and final hit there with a Winter's Bite. Busio trying to get away. They want to go in after Quad, but a nice use of stasis keeps him alive. Masu going godlike. They've already killed 2 on the side of Shopify. Double kill over to Masu. The Corky is absolutely massive. Palafox needs a little bit more damage, but he ain't going to find enough. Contracts will die next. Everybody on Shopify is way too squishy for
B-Boy. Fudge, isn't able to actually finish off the kill himself, but it just doesn't even matter because Bwipo is trying to get to a wall, trying to flash over, can't actually find the angle, flashes into the wall, goes down, and Shopify here decide, you know what, we're just going to try to make the fight very quick on the Seeker's arm guard. Perfect timing.
Yeah, really good response from him as now he has to try to get away. Shopify trying to make their move back here in the mid lane as Quad dashes back over the wall. Busio should die here. Quad falling back to the safety of Inspired and Bwipo. FlyQuest now in a 3v5 in the mid lane, now a 4v5 with Masu ready to join, and honestly, they like those odds. B-Boy has to get away from the Sun Disc as Inspired keeps chasing after Palafox. Contracts defensive ulti to try to get him and the rest of the team out, but Masu's not going to allow it. Legendary Corky in the mid lane. FlyQuest have a 4v4 game, and they're smashing their way into the enemy base. The first inhibitor is already down in mid, and in bottom lane, the wave is just about ready to crash into the tier 3 turret next.
Yeah, Shopify gonna try to defend here, but I don't think they have the gas to be able to hold on for very long. They're going to have to give this inhib very likely. They're waiting for contracts up in 20 seconds. Busio just respawning now, so it is going to be a 5v4 potentially briefly if they overstay, but they are just going to back off. He's going to be almost impossible to take out. There's a Mikhail's and a Locket on Busio. He's going to be protecting him. Yeah. If you can't kill Masu, you just can't win the fight, and I just don't think they have the tools or the damage to really be able to do it unless Masu just like Valks in the middle of 5 people.
Yeah, Masu would have to make a pretty serious error, but right now it's all 3 inhibitors down. FlyQuest on the victory push. Shopify have 1 fight left, but the health bars are just getting chipped away before the fight can even start. Bwipo and Masu just poking at these guys as the first Nexus turret is already about to die. It's going to drop right there before the fight even starts. Contracts and Seos have to find their way in. Seos gets a knock up on the Quad, but it's not going to matter as Masu's already killed him. Double kill for the Corky. B-Boy with a killer instinct is going nowhere fast. The stasis isn't going to work. Quad even lives through it. Only 2 left alive on Shopify Rebellion, but the Nexus turrets are down. FlyQuest will look to pick up whatever they can here on the steps and pad those stats, but 19-8, FlyQuest take game 1.
Nicely done by FlyQuest, but it's another game.
Aware that Bwipo is willing to lock this in. He's willing to use this in that magic bag of tricks that he has here in draft, and this time around, I'm not going to lie, I am excited to see how well Bwipo does
by Fudge, so instead he is going to stay around and try to push this one out. Probably can just pop the Maiden. Inspire going to be on this Dragon here early, which means FlyQuest are going to have an opportunity to potentially go for both the Grubs and the first Dragon. Again, something you really couldn't do last patch.
Yeah, this is what's really interesting to me on this one. Did pick up all 3 Grubs while Inspired was down there covering for the 2v2 aggro. Equalizer dropped up here. Flash over the wall from Fudge. He wants to keep going after Bwipo. Fudge with the solo kill. Pretty much right after spawn. as Shopify have it down below half HP. FlyQuest still looking for an opportunity to enter into this bot side river. Contracts and Palafox putting the damage into the objective. FlyQuest, they don't have enough men close by to contest before the objective is gone. Now Quad getting caught out here as Palafox wants to go in. Fate sealed, looking for a ton of damage here onto the enemy mid lane with Contracts trying to help him, but they just don't have enough with that Morning Mist, I believe is the name of it, as Contract's going to lead the way. They want the dive. Fudge going in for the flash again. Bwipo getting cooked. Contract's taking the kill.
And then Seos is able to get that hook as a result. Fudge getting aggressive, but Inspired is here this time.
Yeah, this time it's FlyQuest who are bringing extra firepower into the top lane battle, and Fudge will get shut down. Money over in Bwipo's pocket as bullet time doesn't get enough. Seos trying to keep Bwipo locked up inside that ultimate. But
this is going to be not only the kill, but it's going to be the turret form as well, because Yorick crushes through these towers here. Even without the ult, the ghouls are going to do a lot of work. So he's going to be able to push in this wave, get the kill, and we'll see where he is gold-wise now. In fact, he's going to be about 700, 800 gold ahead of where Fudge is. So he's going to be feeling really good about his position in the game after that.
Yeah, nicely done there. As Shopify Rebellion go ahead and start up the third Drake of the game. It is Hextech Rift, 1 Dragon to 1 so far in the count, and Shopify have everybody that's not Fudge already down here. Fudge has his teleport ready to use. If FlyQuest want to fight this, they know it would have to be a full send. Shopify are already here so early that FlyQuest...
they are close to feats. You know, they're 1 kill away from potentially getting those feats.
All right, let's see if they can get it done as the Herald is summoned up in mid lane. 1 charge, I would think, takes this turret down, or at least it's close. Nicely done there to pick up that turret.
Yeah, they're trying to delay for Bwipo to get the mid lane push so he can actually join without having to TP. Palafox is also moving now, but Palafox is a little bit closer. It's very, very close.
Okay, True Shot Barrage fired off by Masu, but he doesn't find a whole lot out of it just yet. Little bit more as the Maokai ulti flies through, but they only engage onto Inspired. Seos having to get back away as Bwipo joins into the fight. Quad's off on the side, the bullet time over the top, looking to shred through the Dragon, but it's going to be slain by Contracts on Shopify, as now they have to scramble to try to get back to a good position. Palafox, Fate sealed back over the wall. Shopify Rebellion take the objective and disengage with no deaths.
Yeah, the question is, can FlyQuest force the Otacon? And it looks like the answer is they're going to try. Bwipo is starting this up. Yorick can solo this thing. He lost his maiden in the fight, which really does suck. It's going to reduce his damage a lot, and they are aware of it, so he's going to have to pull off now, but it's kind of still leashed. Now there's an opportunity potentially for Shopify to say, you know what, we're just going to take it. We're just going to say thanks for the leash and try to start this up. Will they keep it aggro? The Ghoul is doing a good job of it, and now, yeah, Contracts has moved on. He is hitting this thing, so now FlyQuest has got to get back out on the map and try to stop him. It's getting down.
FlyQuest is making their way over, but the Otacon is burning very quickly. Shopify Rebellion already have it down to 2,000 HP. They still need a little bit more damage, and Thornbound Otacon is going to be claimed by Contracts and Shopify Rebellion. Now Seos is getting locked up as Contracts tries to use Quad as an escape mechanism. Shopify have lost their support, and surely more bodies are going to hit the floor. Fudge wants to take one with him, and he's going to claim the feat of warfare to do it. Palafox falls here too, so Shopify lose 3 men, but critically, they get 3 kills before together. Quad also chunked down to half, but with FlyQuest having stronger health bars overall, Masu wants to use the momentum to try to take down the tier 1 turret here in mid lane, and FlyQuest
maybe gonna get chased down here.
Yeah, Fudge has been caught in the cage, but now Palafox is ready to assist his top laner. Bwipo ends up falling before he can get the last Q to take down the...
Bwipo went up to the top side. If we can get a quick shot of the top lane minion wave, if there's not going to be a fight here. Oh, they're going to engage, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. We got Contracts under a little bit of pressure as FlyQuest are ready to rally around this mid lane, already committing the teleport from Quad because they want to make sure they can move over as a powerful unit to establish control over the bot side river. But Palafox is ready to arrive here on this right side flank. Bwipo also marching down the bottom lane here, gaining priority over that. He has the Maiden up again as the rest of Shopify squaring off against FlyQuest.
Look at top lane.
Around the side of mid. Top lane, yes, the big wave colliding with the tier 2 turret as the shots continue getting thrown back and forth. Maokai ulti to disengage as Shopify are looking to fall back. They want to claim the Drake, and they've already found it. Nicely done from Shopify Rebellion now with a Hextech Soul. Equalizer flies down over the top as it stops FlyQuest from approaching in time. Fudge is forced to flash over the wall as now Contracts in a little bit of danger, going to get chased down. They need more damage onto the enemy jungler, but they aren't going to find it. Nice bullet time in the clutch. Huge for Shopify as Fudge Fudge takes the kill, but it was B-Boy bringing the bullets. Nicely done. They'll take the kill, they'll take the Drake, they'll take the soul, they'll take the fight. Shopify Rebellion, get it done.
That was huge there for Shopify. Grabbing the Hextech Soul is going to make things really difficult for FlyQuest. That is such a big injection of power into their team, and now they're just pinging over onto the Baron. Inspired is still dead for 20. I think they maybe want to try to make a move onto this. B-Boy is over here. There is a blue ward on it, but they're just starting it right now. They're even going to TP in. Contracts has got to get over here as well. They're going to fully commit and just try to force the Baron.
Okay, so the big thing is there's no ults on Shopify right now. Even though they are in a 5v4, FlyQuest, they will not be punished in these tight corridors like you would normally expect from this composition. But the Baron is claimed. Shopify Rebellion. I wanted to see mid-game calls. I wanted to see macro moves. I wanted to see coordination. And right now, they are delivering.
Yeah, that was really decisive there. They win the fight. They get the kill on Inspired, who barely was missing his flash with that bullet time. And they say, you know what? We're not going to sit on just that advantage. We're going to force the Baron. They go over there. They realize that FlyQuest isn't in a position to contest or even really delay. We'll see if they can find a pick here. FlyQuest stacking in the brush, but can't find it. And now things are going to get really tough. You know, you're dealing with that Baron buff. Bwipo can't really just push out in the side lanes. They're going to look for an engage.
Oh, immediately Contracts jumps into 4, opens up some space for Palafox to follow up with a nice Fate Seal. The Equalizer comes down over the top, but nobody on FlyQuest is dead just yet except for the Maiden. Seos does not hit the dredge line onto Busio, and now he might pay for it with his life instead. Seos so very low. Inspired ends up getting the kill on him as Shopify now have lost the fight and have to back away. A little bit more damage from Masu could seal the fate of Contracts. Palafox wants to cover for him, but a beautiful Essence shift coming out from the Ezreal. Masu
chase him down afterwards. But, you know, you can just push the waves. You can play for that. And Contracts, while he gets a pretty decent engage, he's very separated from the rest of the team. And Fudge was not there yet.
Oh, Fudge. He's right there, though. Quad is just burned to
a little bit. Try to make a heroic comeback. That mid lane tier 2 looking like it's gone. Palafox does take a lot of damage. Is going to be able to finish it off here, though. And this is Bwipo on pros talking about a tier list of the 3 worst pros in the league. He put Fudge on there. Fudge has been playing great.
Oh, Quad getting caught again. The combo, man. They're doing it.
They've got to make it happen here. We'll see if they can do it.
Okay, Inspired immediately finds the engage. It's on to Contracts. If they kill the enemy jungler right here, it's tragedy for Shopify Rebellion. The Maokai tries to get away. Twisted advance back onto the Dragon, but now a nice counterattack coming out from Fudge and the rest of Shopify. FlyQuest health bars have taken some serious damage, and Palafox has made a teleport into the fight. He's found his way into the back line. He's found his way onto Quad. Fudge is still burning, but so is FlyQuest. Nobody's dead just yet, but now everybody falls. FlyQuest has been erased off the map. Shopify Rebellion get a perfect ace for the Elder Dragon.
Oh my God, that TP as well. It looked like Palafox was going to join way too late, but when he TPs in, he gets so much damage on Masu, and then just leaves Masu alive, to go over on a Quad, and then it gets them both low. The snapback kills them both. He gets a double kill on both the carries at the same time. They get the Dragon, they win the fight, and Shopify are pushing to get the dub.
Contracts is left to clean up the buff itself, but Isaac, I don't think they're going to need it. The only person that might even be alive to try to stop this push will be Busio, a lone Alistar against an Elder Dragon. Shopify, they drafted the Wombo combo comp. They did not falter in the mid-game. They made the calls to win the game 12-6, 35 minutes in. Shopify's taking us to game 3.
That's Contracts going to bust this out, and we'll have to see how he actually performs. You know, I do think Shen ult is used best aggressively, especially because against Nocturne, if you're trying to use it defensively, lights get turned out. You can't ult off the data on this pick because, quite frankly, it's not that popular.
Bwipo in some danger. Fudge jumps right on top of his head, and Contracts with a flash on top to guarantee
that value out of it. And honestly, like, I don't even feel like saving a teammate is enough value. Like, you need to get kills with it, you know? And so sometimes you have to make that tough decision to just let someone die instead of just using an ulti where they're like running away and maybe barely going to survive, because it just doesn't feel worth it.
I really like Inspired going.
Oh, Fudge. I thought he was going to recall. He's not. He's going to die.
Oh, nicely done from Inspired there. You said you wanted value out of the Nocturne and Shen ultis, and Inspired and Bwipo just flipped the switch.
Oh, no, a smelly belt.
That is a nasty belt. Well, he is going for the Titanic first off here as Fudge goes in for the slam. Contracts ready to back him up.
Okay.
There we go. All right, Shopify Rebellion are on the board.
They are kind of locked in the lane here. And Fudge going to be able to get a good trade. He could scoop him backwards as well. Shen is coming, but so is Nocturne topside.
Inspired ulti ends up just going up on the other side of the map instead, and now Bwipo's going to get beat down.
Tornado by Busio. So then he has to flash to kind of get in there. And then the flash has come out from Contract. So they spent so much And we'll see if they can actually secure this. Seo's going to look again.
Okay. Problem is, Busio on those
teleport.
tornadoes, so tough to deal with. Teleport coming in. Now Shopify's got to be careful. Bwipo has already arrived with the Dominus ready to go. Seo's disengaging here with a Shattering Strike. His Contracts wants to try to challenge for the Drake, but it's going to be very tough. Bwipo's into the back line already, looking for a ton of damage here into Palafox, who has to flash over the wall, looking to barely keep himself around. His Contract stuck in the middle of 5 players on FlyQuest, going to drop. Fly. They grab themselves the objective. They get the bonus kill. They'll find another one here onto Palafox as B-Boy and Seos are left to the wolves, and those dogs are barking. Masu in a little bit of danger here, but he ain't dead yet. B-Boy down to 300 HP. Busio trying to keep everybody away, but that was just goofy. He ends up giving a free one back, makes it at least a Shopify Rebellion in gold, no matter how you'd like to measure
Flowers
it.
on the Oregon Trail.
But,
it's not looking good.
Yeah, this mid lane mage as well. Just the nature of League of Legends these days. Nice taunt flash comes out from Contracts. It sets up the seismic shove, but where's the rest of the damage? Palafox with a Weaver's Wall over the wall. Needs a little bit more to finish off the kill onto Quad. They don't quite have it, and finally they get it, but it's still going to be a 1-for-1. Make it a 2-for-1 as the Super Mega Death Rocket sets it up for Inspired to knock it down. The lack of damage on Shopify forced.
Yeah, I mean, now Fudge basically has to force, because they're just going to wait out the Mega Gnar, right? They saw him actually pop that as he went to clear out the wave. Contracts is going to go!
Double taunt coming out from Contracts. He grabs the bottom lane alongside Quad. A lot of damage, but not enough to guarantee a kill, and instead Inspired is going to go on a rampage as Palafox falls. Now Contract getting stunned up without any cooldowns left to play with it. Inspired finds a nice catch on a Fudge and B-Boy both. The Xayah barely gets away with a Super Mega Death Rocket! Fudge flashes out of the way and condemns his AD carry to death. Bwipo is ready to be his judge, jury, and executioner. A double kill over to Masu, and FlyQuest just slammed him.
Yeah, I mean, the start of the fight looked like it was going to be so good for Contracts, but there wasn't enough people there to actually follow up on that taunt from Contracts, so no one goes down on the other side off of that initial engagement. And then it's just FlyQuest taking over. They have more consistent damage.
It does, but it still looks really funny.
It does look really funny, you're right. But I think that, unfortunately, is probably the end of the hopes here for Shopify. You know, I just feel like their carries are just getting way too far behind, and they're not really being able to find a lot.
We will win, guys. We'll win. Just fight.
I'm going to kill them, okay? I'm going to kill them.
Yeah, we're back to live, and we're back to watching Otacon die. And I mean, we lose Otacon, they're on Soul Point, it's 3K advantage, the carries are really fed. This is going to be so hard, especially when it's Orianna and Janna there, because that's double shielding for the Jinx, that's double shielding, you know, plus
Because I have liked the angles that we've seen from Shopify. The catch on Quad in the top lane, I thought was a good catch. The catch on the double combo of Quad and Busio in the bottom side river before the Drake, I think is a good catch, but they just don't have the damage for the payoff.
Yeah, it Krugs or something like that to try to get some rage, but I feel like you just force this and the Dragon's probably gone before Fudge is relevant.
Yeah, there's no way for Fudge to really contribute to this, to charge that bar at all. FlyQuest going to go ahead and start it up.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find an angle here. Fudge going to try to get that Gnar bar ready.
Okay, they've already used the Weaver's Wall on the side of Shopify, but Palafox doesn't find any sort of an angle to go in on anything. Inspired, forcing back B-Boy and Contracts. FlyQuest still grouped up as 5. Seos wanted to make the big engage, but he doesn't find a valuable target here just yet. Bwipo into the back line, looking to put the pressure on B-Boy as Seos is already down. Quad taking the first kill. Bwipo will not be deterred. He's running through all of the defense. They'll finally kill him off, but it's way too late. Fudge gets caught up in the chompers as Inspired continues zoning away the last 2 living players on Shopify Rebellion. Masu gonna keep it up, needs a little bit more damage to finish off Contracts, but does
you know, you have the Rel on a flank. He tries to find a good angle to engage here as Inspired goes forward. He forces out the ulti there from B-Boy, and then it's the engage coming through from Seos. But again, where's the follow-up? There's no one that can actually do any damage. Palafox isn't even in range. Shopify, so unfortunately it does feel like this game kind of ends with a bit of a whimper as an ineffective fight.
Yeah, and Inspired doesn't even get caught by the taunt there from Contracts over the wall. There's the knock wave combo with the Super Mega Death Rocket over the top. They immediately kill Contracts and Fudge both. The front line gone on Shopify's side. Baron is on the map, and it's all but free for FlyQuest.
Yeah, this is going to be impossible to defend. Bwipo is just taking a 1v2 here. Busio's going to come over and defend him. You got Mountain Soul, you got a Janna. There is no damage, it feels like, coming out of B-Boy.
Yeah, Bwipo just does not care about this. Palafox finally arrives. Seos still drops. Bwipo in a 1v3. This is that limit testing that we're talking about. He's taking the chances to see how far he can push it. He still gets a 1-for-1 trade while his team, Bwipo, looking to keep that pressure going here in mid, doing exactly what you were talking about. Bwipo is now grouping up with the team. Inspired is the separate pressure over in mid. The Weaver's wall is used to not great effect. It's going to slow down this push just slightly, but they're still going to kill the turret. That's going to get Masu excited. FlyQuest still seeing if they might be able to find some follow-up here, but the zap does not get a slow. So Inspired now just taking the chance. All right, let's keep the mid lane pushed up instead. They also used the paranoia there to stop any chance of Shopify making a move from that Weaver's wall. So Inspired, not quite the same ability to group up with the rest of the team, but he's got Fudge right next to him. He knows as long as I can see him in front of my face, there's a 4v4 over there, and my guys win it every time.
And at this point of the game, you know, only 54 seconds on that ulti cooldown, so it's getting really close to actually being back up. Only 15 more seconds, and it'll have the ulti, basically. So not too big of a concern that he uses it there. Bwipo did use the Dominus as well, so he does not have that available, but all they have to do is just play around these siege minions and try to go careful.
Ooh, might be a catch onto Masu here, who has to pop the cleanse to try to get away, but B-Boy is already dead. He dies with ult and flash up, and that's going to be the end of the game. 3 dead on Shopify as they try to get the last couple of players away, but Palafox is not escaping this spooky ghost. Inspired just running them all down. A double kill back over to Masu, and they finish the ace on the steps of the base. FlyQuest, they might have ended up having to play a full 3 games, but they make this third one the most one-sided of the series. They will take down Shopify Rebellion 2-1.
Nicely done by FlyQuest. They are able to clean it up, as you